On the RZR S 900, which is what I've got, if you get the RacerTech springs, your stock setup on the front is going to look something like this. And to remove the shocks, the front shocks, I use a ratchet with a deep weld extension, 15mm and a 15mm wrench. For me, that's the easiest way to get them off. But you're going to find your stock setup something like this, which this nut's going to be tightened down, and I've already loosened it up. And this, you're going to have quite a bit of preload here, so you're probably going to have to take the spinning wrench, the shock tool, and you're going to have to loosen this up, because you probably ain't going to be able to do it by hand. But since I've done loosened mine up, I can go ahead and do it by hand. The RacerTech setup is going to come with 4 long springs and 4 short springs. You're going to have one on each corner of the back. You're going to have a spacer, a low adapter that goes below the spring. You're going to have your divider that goes between the springs, your little springs, your big springs like I said, and you're going to have another one of these adapters that goes on top. And I'll show you how to put them on real quick. Before you go to loosen these nuts, you're probably going to want to put a little WD-40 on these threads. Trying to clean the threads up a little bit to make this job go a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. I believe that'd be enough. Next, you're going to want to push the spring down a little and remove your collar. Then you can just slide the stock spring right off. You can kind of get a feel for the difference in the springs there. I mean, the stock springs are quite a bit smaller springs. Now when you go to install the new RacerTech springs, first thing you want to do is install an adapter. Then you want to install the short spring, and it don't matter how you install it. Then you want to install this, and you want the big cup facing toward the bottom of the shock. And then install the long spring, install the adapter, and I'm going to have to loosen up some more. As you can see here, I can't get my keeper in, so I'm going to have to run this down a little further so I can get that thing in. That down far enough, I can go ahead and slide the keeper in place. Then I can run this up just a hair. Just run it up so it touches the springs. Don't put no tension on it. Now what I like to do is find a spot on the spring. I like to use the little indent here. Take a measuring tape. Measure the spring and see where it's sitting. I've got a 4 3/8. So that means if I want a 1/4 inch preload, I want to have 4 5/8. And most likely you can just spin this by hand and get your preload that you want. But now if you can't, you can always use the spinner wrench. That's got my 1/4 inch preload. So now I can go ahead and tighten this nut up. This is a locking nut. This keeps everything from moving. It just binds. It's called a jam nut. It jams the 2 nuts together. And what I like to do, it's a little bit easier. You don't want to over tighten it. You want to just tap it, get it thump a little. And it ain't a bad idea. Go ahead and take a spinner wrench afterwards. Just to make sure it's tight. And that's all there is to it. Now we're ready to put the shock back on. We're ready to do a little riding. But while you've got it off, you want to be careful and you don't want to lose these little, you got 2 little rubber pieces on both sides of this bushing. You do not want to lose those. You want to keep up with those while you got it apart. And inside your shock here where the bushing rides, you're probably going to want to put a little grease on it. Anytime I pull my shocks off, I like to take a little good grease. I use Schaefer's waterproof, but I like to take a little good grease. It don't take a whole lot. Just put some fresh grease in there. The RZRs are notorious for having squeaks and squeals, and this is one of the reasons. These bushings right here get dry on you, and when they get dry, they're going to squeak. Especially if you ride in water. This lower bushing runs down below the water a lot of times, and it washes all that grease out. As you can see, mine's done got plenty of grease in them. It ain't been long since I've had these off and greased them, but I like to put a little fresh grease in it anyway. On the rear of the back, you do basically the same thing, it's just a little different. The springs on the rear, they have a tender spring, and you've got this little plastic thing here, it goes in between the two springs, factory on the rear, but you just take it off basically the same way. You install the new RacerTech springs, put them back together the same way, then you're ready to ride. But anyway, that's all there is to it. I'm not going to go through the process of installing and removing the shock, because I mean it's just pretty simple. But let's do a little riding. We'll see you on the trails.